champion. Tonight is going to be amazing.
The right man.
I don't care what we do, as long as we're together.
But on an island where every day brings new possibilities.
800,000 women on this island. And you had to choose the one with the biggest rock on her finger.
Here we go!
And then boom, everything's in color. It makes me feel
Bazodee.
Oh boy, celebrating its 10th anniversary, Bazodee. And guess what? It's coming to TTT on Independence Day. So here's some more information coming from the line producer, Miss Lorraine O'Connor, joining us via Zoom. Good morning to you, Lorraine.
Good morning, good morning.
How are you doing this morning?
Great. I went and found this T-shirt.
Is the
10
T-shirt
years.
also 10 years old?
Yes.
Nice. I want to jog your memory a little bit. Let's go back to the initial stages of Bazodee and what it took to bring this production from an idea to an actual movie. What was that process like for you as a line producer?
Wow. Well, I joined in when Lady Montano literally said, we have to do this movie this year. And you know how she is, a force. So, I said, okay, I'm there to help you. But basically, Claire Ince had come to Marshall with the script 9 years before, so it took 9 years from the concept and the idea, winning awards for the script and all that until it really went to camera.
Wow. So that first part, of course, is phenomenal to know that it sat there, well, not sat there, but it existed 9 years prior. And here we are 10 years later, and we're still talking about it. We're still going to show it. But for people who may not have ever seen it, what sort of, for me, one of the things that stood out to it is the sound, right? Because whenever I find that oftentimes when I go to see movies made in Trinidad and Tobago, the sound is oftentimes treated like a second thing. It's not the main thing that we focus on. But when I went to see Bazodee, I remember being enamored by the sound in the cinema itself. Everything was so full. It was so well produced and well done. Tell me, what was the process like for you all as a team putting together everything that needed to happen for it to flow smoothly, for the production elements to be top tier, as it were? What sort of work went into it, and if there's anybody that you remember standing out that focused on anything in particular?
Well, I have to give credit to where the master, Marshall, sat with that, with the post-production. He made sure, like, there was no way he was going to allow this movie to air with, substandard sound.
Right.
But I want to say that the crew, we worked with a really great crew. We brought in international what we call keys, which are the heads of departments, and then they worked with the local people on the ground. And, it was really a great effort. It was one of the first times, I think, in Trinidad and Tobago where local crew and international crew were treated the same in terms of, perks and all of that. And that was a big plus for me as a line producer, and even for people working on, on the movie. You all of them will say that, wow, Lorraine, you made sure that we treated the same. And I think for me, that's something that stands out. Of course, some of the international crew really did stand out. There was an anecdote that I like to share, if you allow me. The gaffer, the head grip was American, right? And of course, in America, you're accustomed just go in Home Depot or wherever to get your tools. So here, he needed a ladder to climb up, a special type of ladder to climb up on the roof at the house we were using for some of the big party, right?
Right.
And so he went to back on things to get the ladder. Because the ladder, we had to get a semi to bring it back down because it was so big. And when it reached, the ladder was a little crooked. And he's like, no, this won't, safety rules and all that. We have to change it. So we called Bagon Singh. Of course, they're like, this is the only ladder we have like this in stock. And I'm like, Mike, you have to figure this out. We have to use this ladder. We can't change it, right? So I always, that understanding that we are not necessarily a film-friendly nation and don't have things just accessible like that. So that was a good learning curve.
Yeah, and I imagine there were a couple other little things that would have happened that culturally would be a little bit different from what they may have been accustomed to. What was it like working with the cast? Because I know that you mixed a local cast with foreign cast as well, with some Indian cast. So tell me about that process and the working together and the collaboration.
Well, it was great. They love Trinidad. I mean, I don't know anybody who comes to Trinidad and doesn't love it, really and
Fair.
truly, you know?
That's
So
fair.
Kabir Bedi, international Indian star, you know, hundreds of movies, super talented. Of course, he loved it. And Natalie, all of them really love the Trinidad, and the music, and just got into it. I mean, we had a lot of scenes with dancing and music. It is a musical, so people really got into it.
Yeah. What was one of the biggest challenges for you in working on it, Lorraine?
Well, I think raising the finances, because we funded this. Yes, I mean, most of the time in film, that is the biggest challenge.
Yeah.
We raised all the money locally, and I think that was amazing. And again, kudos to Mrs. Montano. She, as we know, she's a force of nature. She was not taking no, and we really pushed, and we raised all that money. I mean, they also invested a lot of money, and we used the film TT rebate and so on. So I would say one of the biggest challenges was the financing, but also maybe adapting the expectations of the director, the DP, and what was available in Trinidad and Tobago.
Right.
We shot in Tobago as well for a whole week, so just that understanding that this is not Hollywood, this is not Atlanta, where the studio, it's not like that. Like we have to be very resourceful, and we are. So
Yeah.
we made things work.
Lorraine, when you look back at the impact that Bazodee had, what's your biggest takeaway from it?
Well, I think it's one of the major landmarks in terms of film production in Trinidad, because the size of the movie, the spend, and then more importantly, like we opened in 120 cinemas across America, and that was a big first.
Yeah.
Another huge takeaway for me was a couple years ago in 2022, we were invited to show Bazodee in Africa, in Lagos, at the Real Time Film Festival. And we screened it in a cinema with, mainly African people. They loved it. I mean, the vibe in that cinema was off the charts. Like everybody got up and started to dance, and, just talking about it, I'm getting goosebumps.
Nice. Now, Lorraine, this Sunday we're getting ready to air it here on TTT, 10 years later. Tell me what brought about this collaboration.
Diane, your programmer, and I think that's great, because we are celebrating the 10 years, and she reached out to me to say, we think for independence it would be great to show Bazodee, and I said, well, that's perfect, because I'm calling it the Summer of Carnivals, because the tagline is "Love is a Carnival," right, for Bazodee. So we have been pushing it, in the different carnivals, and we started with Toronto, Notting Hill, Labor Day, and up to Miami, and we've been doing a nice on social media, like contacting the crew and the cast and asking them, well, where are you 10 years later? And Tennille, actually, Noalo, she was pregnant in the movie. People may not know this. She was 6 months pregnant. Her daughter is 10 now. And she did a little clip, and the daughter popped in the clip and said, I'm the Bazodee baby. And that was so cute. That was really, really cute. So yeah, kudos to TTT for always wanting to support, local, and our achievements. And I hope everybody tunes in and watches it. I mean, it's such a feel-good movie. It's such a joy. The music is contagious, as we know, and that was a huge process, and actually, I put in a plug here, at the film festival in September, I will be leading a panel on music rights in film, because people don't realize how intricate it is to obtain music rights for a film. So,
Most
every
definitely.
song had to get, and then every song sometimes is produced by multiple people and owned by multiple people. So it's not just because Rockers, I like it. I like a Freetown song. I using it in a movie. And no, you have to get permission from everybody.
Everybody involved in the process, yeah. And that's where the rights come in. Lorraine, I have to ask you before we wrap up this morning, where are you 10 years later? I mean, you spoke about the financing, and now you have a whole company that deals with helping creatives get through that. So where would you say you are 10 years later after Bazodee?
Well, I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be right now. Meaning that I am the general manager of C15 Studios, which is a company helping finance creative projects. I am blessed to be in this position because, of course, after 30 years of being a freelancer, independent, working to raise funds on all different projects, to now be in this seat, it's a privilege and an honor, and I'm very excited about the future. We have some big plans, film fund, Caribbean fund for creatives, lots of big ideas, and, I want to leave a legacy. I'm in my mature years, as they call it, and I'm not stopping until my legacy is there solid.
I think you've done a lot of work to definitely make sure you have a solid legacy. So anything happens going forward, it's just adding to it. So thank you very much for all the work you've put in so far. We definitely appreciate it, and we look forward to celebrating on Sunday.
Yes, I look forward to it too. Thank you so much.
No problem
Take
at
care.
all. Thank you so much for joining us, Lorraine. Take care. That's Lorraine O'Connor, line producer for Bazodee and general manager of C15, sharing with us as we get ready to celebrate 10 years of Bazodee, the movie. It's airing right here on TTT on Independence Day. All you have to do is stay tuned to find out exactly what time. We're going to take a quick break, and we're coming back with your birthday shouts. But in case you missed the trailer, check this out.
Whining like a champion. Tonight is going to be amazing.
The right man,
I don't care what we do, as long as we're together.
but on an island where every day brings new possibilities.
800,000 women on this island. And you had to choose the one with the biggest rock on her finger.
Here we go.
And then boom, everything's in color. It makes me feel
Bazodee.